Hello, invisible friends, and welcome back for day 17, which is aged. Something we're all doing. And I thought it was a good opportunity to have a look at how my work has aged in the nearly 2 years, I think, since I've been junk journaling. So right back at the beginning, I followed a lot of tutorials, I guess, as we do. And this is one of the first things I made, which you may be able to tell was from a Kleenex box. So it was, I think it was a treasure books video, using every part of the Kleenex box, the tissues, to make a folio with a bit of fold out and a few pockets. And this is manila card that I watercoloured and had a lot of fun with, and a little pocket here. And it was great fun, and it taught me a lot about construction, but I never use it. It just sits on the shelf. I guess we all have a lot of things that do that. And then one of the next things I made, I wanted a bit more of a challenge, and I like a book that looks more like a book. So this was, again, I think all of these are treasure books, a 10 signature journal using a cereal box, and each signature, it's not a signature, it's an envelope. So, oh look, some which are pockets actually, but in between, these are all envelopes. And I had this old pad of scrapbook paper, so I made all these envelopes and the tucks. But I haven't found this useful at all, and I don't like, you can see how it's deformed itself. And I was looking at this morning thinking maybe I could redo it so it's sat up and had some sort of like an accordion file, and I could use it for ephemera, but they're a bit deep for that. So I think what I'm going to do is take this to pieces and use the envelope, and these days I like to pad everything. I really don't like this thin, flimsy kind of cover anymore. So anyway, we'll see. And then there was this, again, recycling a window envelope and following a tutorial to collage it and do things. And this has got a napkin and pieces of book page and doodles and paint, and quite frankly, I didn't like this at all, but I finished it because I wanted to learn, pardon me, the techniques. But now I'm thinking, now that I've aged and this has aged, I might take this to pieces, which, I don't know, deconstructing something is almost as much fun as making it in the first place. And then I can reuse that bread and that. I can take out all these early bits of, look, there's notes in that one, bits of ephemera, and I think what I'll do, because I really dislike the cover, except as a memory, I might put it in my ideas book to remember what not to do. But look, I've got a lovely bit of eco paper in here, all sorts of bits of ephemera. So I'm going to cut it apart. Here goes. When you don't like the way things have aged, you can perform some surgery. Now that I know more what I like, oh, that's fun, isn't it? So now I've got a lovely bit of eco-dyed paper to use. Music page, that must have just been a wiped off jelly print, I think. A sticker which has come off. an early Franken page with a flip and a belly band. Oh look, everything's falling out. So I'll salvage the bits I like. I like that. Not a big fan of this. I like the flip. That can go. That's another bit of a jelly print wipe off. That can stay. That's still usable in another journal. This one, oh look, this has got a glossy image attached to that. I think I might reuse those straps and say goodbye to this, or use it in another cover. That one's useful, that one's useful, and this one can probably stay as it is, and this one, and then this can get filed under the things I don't like. So for my aged spread, how about, where are we up to here? For my age spread, I might just add some of these. These look quite aged, don't they? This is just a very thin cartridge, no, copy paper. And I think this was ink that I just splattered water into, or possibly alcohol. I might turn this into a new page. Look, there we go, let's do that. So I don't like the writing on this. These days I would rip off or cover the writing, I wouldn't use it like that. So this is a, ooh, things that look a bit aged and using something that aged badly. Now I like that, so I might actually glue this one this way around. And I think I want it to be the height of the book, more or less. That there. And then we can fold these little bits here. There we go. That looks a bit more interesting, doesn't it? Make this a little tuck spot just by gluing the bottom. Ooh. And this one, might glue the top on that one. A top tuck and a bottom tuck. And then I might do it as a flip again, because because I don't want to hinge over these nice dribbles. I like those. So look at that. We can use another bit of this nasty page that I don't like the heavy colouring on. Sorry about that noise. Tear off an appropriate piece of it. See how much of a mess I can get into with hinging this time. Oh, now I only want it on the top. Trim. Okay, so I need it to go to flip like that. So this bit goes on the book. Hopefully I have learned my lesson after last video's mess. Oh, look at that. I think it's going to work. I was going to do that, didn't I? Sorry about my head in the way if it is. There we go. Look at that. Now, instead of this, I have a nice aged look here. Actually, I could do the same. Little sneeze from the background. Oh, look. If I use the back of this, actually if I use the back of this just like that, don't know if you can hear the cat complaining in there, but Q just sneezed. He does not like sneezes. What are you doing? Very interesting living with a cat for the first time. Alright, look at that. I think that is a much better use of that paper. Hiding all the nasty black dots. Still got plenty of writing space there. Now for my other spread here. Oh look, Penelope. That's what this says. There you go. That's my name. This is from a trip to China many, many years ago. I wonder. I might just pop this on here because I really want to keep this. Another little flippy flappy under this flippy flappy. Oops, too many hinges. There we go. And so I don't forget that that's what it said. I'll write it here. So if any of you were wondering where Penel comes from, that's where. Just a shortening. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that for aged. Plenty of journaling space, memories, more memories, aged. And I thought I would show just quickly the sort of thing that I like to do now to show how far, and everybody always talks about how do I find my own style. Well, you find it by working. So initially you follow tutorials and you learn from other people who are way ahead of you on the same path, but eventually you reach a point where you start to make your own things. And so this is 2 years later, This is the kind of thing I love making and probably make the most of. It's a small, they started life as mushroom journals because they always had mushrooms, but now they're more forest journals. So I'm using, still, this is the back of a sketch pad, so still recycling all these old fabrics. I love this. This is the last bit. This was a pair of overalls I made Q when she was 2 years old, and I've held on to it all these years. And then these cyanotypes were scraps a friend gave me who prints. A bit of, not sari silk, a cheap version, little charm, little bee charm. And then inside, it's more considered, I guess. I've got imagery that matches my idea of what this journal is. So beehives, butterflies, papers I don't like, I've covered or knocked back with, this was sewing pattern, I think. I've got embossing, I've got watercoloured pieces. This has been painted, dyed, handmade papers, some digitals, jelly prints. And the decoration is, it's kind of minimal because I like, this is watercolour paper, I like to write, and I like there to be something on each page because that helps kind of make it easier to work on if you've got a bit of something happening, for me. But really to leave it wide open. I sell these and it's just lovely seeing what people do with them. So there's plenty of little bits to add in, but not a whole lot. So they're 3 signatures. They all follow a similar kind of pattern. I do like that, that way of building signatures. Makes it less confusing when you're getting it done. Old book pages, plenty of ephemera. Stamping, watercolour, stencils, more watercolour. This is fun. This is stamping onto tissue paper, and it just makes for beautiful little faux stickers, gluing them in. And one of my favourite things to do, little fold downs. All my journals have those. How to use up all the scraps of paper. Here's another one. Not quite the forest, although maybe there's a creek running through the forest. Little tiny frogs. So this is where I've come in 2 years. The aging of my journaling style. You can see we're using digitals. We've bought a printer, and it's way too much fun now searching for interesting digitals. But we're still using a lot of recycled and upcycled old things and books. Be interested to see how other people have aged in terms of their journal making and journal using. And I'll be very interested to see what I'm doing in 2 years and how things have changed from this. Okay, see you next time. Bye.